Earlier today, the entire altcoin market cap got within 1% of achieving a 1.5 trillion altcoin valuation. As we said back in April, and there's still more than half of the month remaining, can we hit a $2 trillion altcoin valuation this month? All the while, Bitcoin dominance continues plummeting as low as 42% so far, but with a recent market little dumpy happening right now, Bitcoin is having a little move to the upside. We are right now staring down the tip of the world's largest altcoin super blastoff explosion in history. And Bitcoin continues getting rejected like a no-coiner applying for food stamps. It is looking pretty dubious. As Bitcoin is right now testing right above the 100 DMA, is it going to hold, or are we going to witness a trouser dropping dumpage confirmed? You know what they say, if you're not first, you're last, and when we bust fast. I'm your host, Bobby Bustin' Thrust, and on this channel we put the art in chart and the crust in crusty. Holy guacamole, cheese, and ravioli. We have a lot to be getting into today. Is Bitcoin and Ethereum on the brink of a little bit of a major dumpy alert confirmed? Guys, in my opinion, anything below like 15-20% in terms of like a drop isn't really that significant. In fact, I think 30% is the most Bitcoin's dumped so far in this bull run long term. So this is absolutely very big. But right now, as I'm recording, we're getting a little bit of a dumpy move to the downside. So we're going to be taking a look at that as well. And we have a lot of beautiful things we're going to be absolutely hippity-hop-hopping into. And as well, the entire altcoin market cap is absolutely exploding. If you guys remember back in April, I said I think we're going to be hitting a $1.5 trillion valuation for altcoins in May of 2021. Guys, we're not even 2 weeks into May 2021, and we got within 1%, right? 1.48 or 1.4, like we got insanely close to a 1.5 trillion. So should we be upping those estimates now? Can we expect altcoins to go on a much bigger gainer rampage in terms of massive gainers confirmed?
So if you guys make sure to hit that link, subscribe, turn on the types and alerts. Without any further ado, let's dive in.
Fun fact, I was supposed to be a twin, but I absorbed my sister before birth and gained her strength as well. Absolutely ginormous. So guys, right now, Bitcoin so far, as I record, this just happened moments ago. It's like basically bouncing right at the 100-day moving average. And guys, this is something we've also been talking about for weeks. Remember, if you go back and watch all those videos, what I said, what I think is the most likely scenario, because we got this bearish cross that we've been talking about right here back at the end of April, I thought that we were just going to trade within this range, and I made it a pretty big range, between like 60 and 50,000 US dollars, until we have a big break to the upside. Now, this is a pretty big test here, because if Bitcoin fails to hold the 100 DMA, which even if it did, I don't think that it would be a big failure, meaning like if it failed here, I don't think it's going to drop all the way down to like the low 40s or something crazy like that. But what it's doing right now, I think, is just consolidating. You know, after a few weeks, we were heading towards the top of this triangle, and now I think we're just going to be kind of heading down, you know, maybe towards the bottom-ish. But either way, it's kind of just going to be a slow move, I think, and an insignificant one before absolutely blasting on up to the stratosphere. So we see that happening with Bitcoin, and yeah, that is bringing kind of the entire space down with it. If we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, whenever Bitcoin starts to have these bigger moves, that's when we do see Bitcoin dominance kind of start to go up a little bit. Okay, it went all the way down to about 42.2 so far, but as you can see here, the trend on the daily chart is just very, very clear to the downside. But as Bitcoin's kind of sinking the market right now, we see Bitcoin regain some dominance because people dump some of their altcoins into Bitcoin on some of these moves. And as well, it's just looking, you know, bearish for Bitcoin in the short term still. But when I say bearish, I don't really mean like mega bearish. I think it's just, yeah, we're probably going to continue dumping a little bit, but it's nothing where I'm going to actually get anywhere near panicked here. So far, this entire drop, we went down about 28%. And currently, we're only about, again, 15 or 16% from all-time highs. So for the most part, I'm just going to be realistic. I think it's just kind of boring with Bitcoin's price action. It's not scary. It's not exciting. It's just boring still. It's just been trading sideways for weeks. Months, actually. It's just been trading sideways. And again, this is just a further continuation of that. We're unable to break above 58 concretely and hold there for a couple of days. 57.5 and 58,000. And, you know, this just massive resistance area right here. And now we're just, you know, getting rejected. That's what happens if you spend all that time trying to get up here, which we did from April 30th to basically today. That's like 12 days, almost 2 weeks. So naturally, if we can't break above the resistance, we're going to have to go to the other way, the other side. And then the bulls have to defend, right? The bears were defending this level, and they did successfully. But I mean, a lot of attention is not even really on Bitcoin at this very moment. There's so many exciting things going on outside of Bitcoin, and I think a lot of people are paying attention to that right now, especially as Bitcoin's had this opportunity to trade sideways for weeks and months, actually. So again, as we were talking about months ago, we were talking about alts really just taking the cake, and that is really the story. I mean, if we take a squeak peek at the altcoins, guys, look at this massive candle today, all the way up to about 1.48, 1.4827748880372. Absolutely amazing. Literally within 1%, less than 1%, or about 1% from 1.5 trillion. And we still have multiple weeks of this month left. So it's going to be an absolute game changer. Altcoins are just changing the game. And a lot of it has to do with, especially this, what we saw, this altcoin, entire altcoin market cap candle was specifically Ethereum, which rose all the way up to 43.84. Just keeps on pumping. And so guys, here on Ethereum's chart, we see that we just got rejected off this level. It's the 1.414 fib extension based on the last run up here. But yeah, I want to see Ethereum hold minimum anywhere above 3850, anywhere above 3,850 I think would be good for Ethereum. And as well, you notice that's below 4K. 4K is a big even number, but I think there are other levels that are just more important than 4K, specifically like 38.5. Yeah, and below that, the next big level is 33.7. But again, not really paying attention to that. To the upside, though, 46,000 I think is going to be the next upside target, and absolutely blow off top potential in the short term, 5,600. That's if things can hold over the next few weeks. Pretty much the highest I think Ethereum could go in the month of May 2021 is probably up to that $5,600 level-ish, around, give or take. I never give exact numbers. For example, if I said Ethereum's going to go to 4,632.05 cents, which some people do that, it doesn't make any sense to me why you give literal exact penny predictions, because every exchange is different anyway. So I mean, for the most part, it should just be big ranges of where it's going to top out or bottom out. But it's just never made sense to me when people will throw out exact predictions to the penny with an asset that's 4 digits long, multiple $1,000s. So again, my opinion, anywhere in the mid 5,000s, 54 to 5,600, I think would be a really good short-term topping out point for Ethereum if we get that final massive leg. But as you can see right now, we have to do this battle first, which is, we got rejected off about 42-ish. That's where we got that rejection. You see 3 daily candles coming up to that exact same spot. And you can see that's where the daily candle opened up today. And so far we're going down. Holding above 39 I think is important, but specifically 38.5 will be big for Ethereum. And Ethereum's just so bullish right now. Still, even with this dump, we're still 30% pretty much above our 21-day moving average. 21's all the way down at 3,100 US dollars. So it's quickly climbing up there. But yeah, Ethereum is responsible for much of this altcoin market cap explosion. And a lot of Ethereum's kind of front running this altcoin mania right now. Ethereum is just kind of taking the cake. And a lot of other altcoins are benefiting. And again, we are still well within a period of what I think is going to be massive altcoin gainers. And I think that we're not even close to halfway through this. So we have a little bit of a downside move today. Nothing to panic about. I think it's literally just because Bitcoin just spent a few weeks getting rejected at a key level, and now it has to dump a little bit, and it wants to find a new bottom. I assume, and again, I've been saying this for a long time, I 100% think it will be a higher low, meaning I don't think it'll go lower than this previous low of about 47,000. So yeah, anywhere above 47 means nothing to me in terms of getting panicked. I think we're just going to be setting a higher low. We'll see over the next probably 24, 48 hours here. But overall, either way, whenever Bitcoin stabilizes, as it has been stabilizing, okay, that's what these 2 weeks were. Bitcoin just kind of stabilizing, and after failing to continue to hold stabilizing, it's having a little drop, and then altcoins are losing a little bit. But when Bitcoin stabilizes, altcoins can go on those runs, and that's what we've seen. It's not just Ethereum. We've seen a lot of the top altcoins in the top 5, 10, 15, and beyond gaining crazy amounts of value. Okay, and that's exactly what this chart illustrates right here. Crazy amounts of value as Bitcoin has been doing nothing, just trading sideways, getting rejected at the same key level over and over again. And guys, again, I mean, it just makes perfect sense. This is exactly what I've been saying. Back when we started to curve up back at the very end of April, so right around here on the chart, that's when I was talking about, yeah, I think we're easily going to be hitting 1.5 trillion. And as of today, I mean, look at that. We're within the smallest little fingers licks lengths of 1.5 trillion. Okay, it's clear altcoins have been performing insanely well. And I think it's just going to continue here. We have to see if Bitcoin can hold the 100 DMA, which is at right now. Worst case ever for Bitcoin is that we go to that 21 weekly moving average, which is right, coincidentally or not, right about 47 to 48,000 US dollars. Again, so I think it would be above 47. So again, like I said, a higher low. So, you know, if Bitcoin worst case scenario came down to like here-ish, right around, you know, anywhere between pretty much 47 to 50K at the very lowest. You know, I'm not even convinced it'll drop that low, but if it does, still nothing to be concerned about. And as well, this is the major chart. The only time I would ever be getting concerned about Bitcoin is if we dropped below this exact level right here, which I guess at this, let's actually zoom in and get, look at this. Yeah, it's about 48,000 actually. A little, yeah, it's about 48, maybe a couple $100 below 48. But yeah, as long as Bitcoin holds that, none of this matters in my opinion. If it breaks below that and then stays below that for like 2 days, then that's a very interesting signal. That is more of a toppy signal. But again, we're not really close to that. If that would happen, we would have, let's take a look here. If that would happen, that would be, let's see how big of a drop it would have to be for Bitcoin to really go to like 47. Yeah, it would still be less than a 30% increase from the highest, or from the all-time highs. So really nothing too drastic here. Bitcoin's been explosive, but this consolidation is exactly what we need before we have that next mega blast off to 6 digits, which I think is very, very, very close. And as well, the DXY today, oh, no coincidence there. The DXY is pumping, you know, over 0.5% so far, back above 90.6. So yesterday's dipping its toe below 90 for the first time since back in February, like 3 months ago. So again, DXY is pumping and Bitcoin is dumping. Another very similar, another very common inverse correlation there. So really nothing dramatic, nothing drastic. And if Bitcoin can, what it has to do right here is just solidify. It just has to concretely find a bottom. And then we'll know, one of the reasons we'll know that as well is because we'll see altcoins start to flood with value and gainers again. But yeah, those are the targets I'm looking for Ethereum. Yeah, $5,600 per ETH this month. That would be absolutely wild. But if we did hit that, I do think we would be seeing a pullback for ETH after that. I don't think we would hit 5,600 and then the next target would be like 75 immediately and then 10,000, then 15,000. You know, I think if we hit 56, then we might be in store for a little bit more of a cool down. And then, you know, maybe some of that value and interest might trickle down in some of the smaller alt cap coins, right? This entire cryptocurrency bull run so far kind of started with Bitcoin back the last couple of months of 2020. And then Bitcoin continued into 2021. But a lot of top alts kind of started to rise, and Ethereum just went on a monster rally over the past month and a half. And yeah, I still think that the majority of the gains that we're going to see for these smaller alts we haven't seen yet. So that's the most exciting thing in my opinion.
Make sure to subscribe to the post notification never miss the time since alerts.
And as well, guys, if you're interested in trading, if you're interested in hardware wallets, if you're interested in TA, check out some of the bonuses below.
Without further ado, that's it for me.